Almighty Suspect will no longer be a host on No Jumper. There was a confrontation last night between Brandon and Almighty Suspect, resulted in both spit flying and a knife being pulled out. Both of these are infractions that I fear we just cannot tolerate as a business.
They don't understand that in any room full of black men, suspect will always be a bitch. He will always be a little high yellow bitch who can't stand up for himself, so he has to call his father to fight his battles or bring a weapon. He literally walked to the car, and that's when he came back with the knife. And that's the moment when bro started trying to get tough. He had to try to find a reason to stir up some shit to try to get me to run up on him so he could try to shank me and say, oh, that was self-defense. My nigga Rich Trapper was texting me like, hey, watch that nigga, because he keep getting up, going out the room. And then you dumb niggas is, oh, give him another chance. Bro, shut the hell up. Bro, Walmart wouldn't even give him another chance.
I have an announcement. Many of you are probably expecting this. As of today, Almighty Suspect will no longer be a host on No Jumper. For anyone who's living in a hole in the ground, there was a confrontation.
Nike's is hard though, bro. I see you, Adam.
Last night between Brandon, aka Bucci Bear, aka Dark Brandon, and Almighty Suspect.
W. Brandon.
That
shout out Brandon.
Resulted in both spit flying and a knife being pulled out. Both of these are infractions that I fear we just cannot tolerate as a business. You know, many times over the past couple of years, I've looked back at the
Shout out Corporator. So let me shout out Corporator. He got a dope new podcast on the Foo Community. Shout out to my bro, Rich Homie Juan, and the Foo Community too, man. I'll be back soon. If you ain't seen my interview on Foo Community, definitely go check that out ASAP.
The incident, and I have felt like I was a little too lenient. Like, I feel like that incident, even though we managed to skate essentially because we got Kelpie to sign off on suing us, I think it was extremely lenient of us to not fire sus at that time. And I'm not gonna lie, there's been a couple times since then, in particular with the whole Jaleese thing, where it really, really felt like he was.
Shout out my baby Jaleese. Y'all see me Rizzo on live. Shout out Jaleese Pino rather. That's Bay.
On the border of attacking her, that got a little scary for me and made me feel like, Jesus Christ, maybe this is not okay. But yeah, I just feel like we just can't tolerate that kind of stuff in here. It's just way over the line. I have nothing against him. I told him I have nothing bad to say about him. I'm not gonna come on here and trash him. I'm not gonna treat him like a sharp or anything like that. But as a business, the liability associated with having somebody on camera who we have like essentially no assurance is not gonna fly off the handle like that. It's just too big of a risk, and it's just not the kind of platform that I want to run at this point. I mean, honestly, the loose cannon situation has been a very bad look for the brand. There's definitely been artists who are
the loose cannon situation. He's talking about when loose cannon and his IBM goons beat this dude who called himself Jay Reed up out front of No Jumper. Jay Reed went and got to talking to telling, I don't know, but y'all should have knew that when the nigga named himself after the police, that he was gonna snitch. Jay Reed was the police, right? Y'all remember Jay Reed? Right? I know you, Jay Reed. Right? That's In Too Deep, one of my favorite movies. Right? Jay Reed, Omar Epps. Y'all don't remember? Dude, Jay Reed, he supposed to be from 11-8 Gangster. That's where he say he from. And they came and vandalized. This is a couple buildings down from No Jumper itself. But that was like a big situation when that happened. Right? Pretty big situation.
Scared to come here to do interviews because of the fact that they seen that clip and they just feel like violence is just a normal everyday thing here. So that incident from last night, not a good look. And we just have to take sort of decisive action in order to avoid that. Now, was Brandon instigating? I think that's fair to say. But that being said, instigating with words is one thing. And if maybe this had been brought to me afterwards and it had been said like, oh, look at the way that Brandon was talking to him, blah, blah, blah. Maybe then it would have been a conversation. But the reality is that Sus is the one who got physical with it. And to me, it's an easy decision. If it had been the spit alone or the knife alone, it would have been an easy decision. It being both of them at the same time, it's an easy decision. Now, I will address this narrative that I know that a lot of people are going to probably want to run with, since apparently Flacco ran with it in his video. Lush, do you feel like you're at fault?
Not at all. Just like 0%. But I think the whole way it transpired is really unfortunate, and I wish that there is a way that it didn't have to have this result. Like, I understand from a business perspective why that can't be tolerated, and obviously, especially considering the negative stigma that's already kind of lingering as a result of the loose incident and things like that. But I just, the whole intention when we did when Brandon debated against iHypocrite and subsequently debated against me was to try to give people a variety in the type of content that we have over here. Because
W Flacco, because he's already did that with, of course, introducing the debates and bringing me on to debate Brandon. We cracked that off. I told you I was going to be blessed. Now the debates, you see the debates going through the roof. You see what I'm saying? Blessed enterprise by my brother Flacco. Shout out Flacco.
I feel like, there's been a consensus that we've been somewhat pigeonholed in certain genres of street rumors and activity, etc. And this is kind of like our attempt to ease our way back into highbrow content, or at least a balance, a variety of content.
A good balance. A balance is good.
A lot of us watch Jubilees, like one of the most popular channels on YouTube. I love that kind of content. For me, creating those debates was an easy decision. That being said, I feel like you're trying to pivot away from the fact that you wanted to get Suspect out the paint so bad that you set him up in an environment in which you knew that he would resort to violence, because you still hold a lingering animosity towards Suspect because of the way that he
laid you out,
knocked you on your ass.
It's actually quite the opposite. It's me, because if you look at it like this, what is the whole number one talking point of the white nationalists, of the racists, of the hypocrites of the world, of the Nick Fuenteses of the world, is that, quote unquote, per this is what they say, black men have low impulse control, black men are unable to blah, 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 blah. And that was kind of what Brandon's intention was when he came over here as an agent of chaos, similar to the agent of chaos that he was in the Tariq Nasheed orbit. You feel me?
But to call Brandon an agent of chaos, I think
it's a perfect description of him.
Okay, but even when the show started, from my perspective, if the goal was to have them two sit down, talk out their issues, and have a neutral field, even when they began to argue, you could clearly tell from your laugh and laugh and every, it felt this felt like a pile on Brandon, and it kind of felt like okay, is he coming around because y'all enjoy him, or is he coming around because you felt like, let's get one up on Brandon today? And that's why, and I felt like once it was going left, again, not just you, but everybody in the room had a responsibility to sort of say, hey, yo, chill. But even, for example, even before their sit down, but what I told everybody, again, my plan was to come here and say, as a team, we thought it was good to have them sit down and on camera. But since y'all opened up the rabbit hole, I said beforehand, hey, bruh, this will end bad. Do this. And everybody said, no.
Which is true.
You feel me?
So I don't care how y'all see it, but in my eyes, spitting on another man is white people stuff. Right? You putting your DNA on another man, STDs can be transferred to. Yeah, I'm gonna be real with you. Have I spit on people in my life? Yes, I have. 1. Am I proud of that? No. But 3, the people who I spit on were girls. And the reason why I spit on, of course, because they're girls, so you don't hit them. You see what I'm saying? I ain't spit on no nigga. I don't think, no man. When I say nigga, I mean male in that context. Let me think though. Let me not get the lying. You know, now let me not get the lying. Cause I done did some super disrespect. I done did all kind of disrespectful shit. Don't get it twisted. But I can't recollect the time where I spit on a man. Nah, only like 2 times. I like spitting a girl face. 2 different girls for sure. Yeah, hell yeah. One girl I spit in her face. She had her eyebrows was drawn on, and I tried to spit and then like smear her eyebrow. I was young. I was about 17 when that happened, man. Maybe I'll tell that story one day.
Which is true. Now
I predict everything that happened.
I was on the road, and for the record, in the group chat, I just want to lay out how this went.
Yeah.
It was brought up in the group chat. Adam's not here. Who should we have on the Tuesday show? Yeah. Lush said, let's get Brandon and Suspect together. And then,
you might want to scroll up a little bit.
You reached out to them, and they both, obviously Brandon was down from the beginning, but I was informed that Suspect was down for it.
And in the debate too, he even brought up the fact that he wanted Suspect and Brandon to sit down.
Who brought that up?
Again, I ain't watching, but you told me that.
Okay. So let's clarify a few things to address to your first point.
Yeah.
As far as from a moderation perspective. Yeah. Could I have done better?
You was laughing hard every time Suspect said something. It was
Hey, stop trying to compete for King Glazer. All right?
Oh my God! Come on, man.
This is already my title.
Okay, sorry.
You don't need to cuff the balls that much, all right? Okay. So yeah, just grab them.
You got to do that.
Little nails feels great.
I'll let loose. You feel me? And off the balls.
So here's the thing. Number 1, could me objectively, when I look at myself, because I hold myself to a really high standard, could I have been a better moderator? Absolutely. Now let's look at some of the things that I was dealing with, the unforeseen. I was not aware of the full extent of the lineup until 2 hours before the podcast. And then, so keep in mind, I'm trying to do multiple things at the same time. Make sure we get good content.
But it's your show. What do you mean you wasn't
hold on.
aware?
I'm towing the line between, because we like conflict. We like arguments. We like that energy. The whole point of No Jumper is controllable chaos. But when it becomes uncontrollable, that's where motherfuckers got to intervene. Now,
but don't get past that line though.
Hold on.
I wasn't aware. Why wasn't you aware? It's your.
For the miss shit, I think in the future Adam might consider letting Sus come back, but I think this just might be a long suspension. I could be wrong though. Yeah, he might let Sus come back for sure. After a while, time heals, but an example got to be made, and it is based on chaos. But you gotta bottle the chaos a little bit. You know what I'm saying? It's gotta be control.
I am not the producer of the show. I'm the A mic when Adam's not here.
Nigga, it's yours. Okay.
Why the white boy get to be the A mic when Adam's not here? Lush, I fuck with you, but me personally, I think if Flacco is on, he's the A mic. He gives A mic when he's on. If Adam's not on, for sure, every time. So I don't know about you just being the default A mic in Adam's absence. I don't know about that. But understandably, Flacco was not there yesterday. So yes, you were supposed to be the A mic, but you wasn't giving A mic energy, my nigga. You wasn't.
These conversations, regardless, I'm not trying to.
Wait, pause. Okay, sorry. A producer gives suggestions, meaning this, okay?
What's my man? Who's the producer? Josh. Josh is the producer, right?
If I'm on right, the Thursday show, okay? I don't care if Josh and Remo says, hey, yo, let's have these 3. No, nigga, if I want for these 2 people to be here, they're gonna be here. I mean, if Adam isn't here,
And just so we're clear, I did the news with Flacco, and I did request for the absence of a particular individual. And me and Flacco talked about that today. I'm not gonna name the name, but just know that I said, please, anybody but this particular individual. I ain't gonna say who.
It's your show. Did they?
Well, clearly I don't have that jug because
You
when
do.
I brought 150 people here and they weren't even allowed in the building.
You could have told
that
Josh
kind
and
of shoots
Remo.
that narrative out the
You
water.
didn't like intentionally
Yeah.
do that. Like,
No juice card.
Yeah, bro. Let's no.
Just
I'm
to be
saying,
fair,
Okay.
if I really had juice to that degree,
You might not have known though, right? But again, if Adam isn't here, this is yours. And
Compa, W shirt, that's a fire shirt, nigga.
if Josh and Remo says, "Hey, bro, bring these," no, you can say, "No, I want one
no.
from Suspect
Look,
Brandon and these."
let
dudes
me
from
clarify. I
DC.
was very happy with the panel.
Okay,
you feel
cool.
me? But here's the thing.
Did anybody know Bizarre was coming? I had no
No,
idea.
I didn't know until.
So they sprung that on you guys too. Huh?
Yes, I knew an hour and a half before, which I was, Bizarre's my friend in real life. I was excited about that.
Shout
and
out
I think
Bizarre, yeah.
Shouts to Bizarre.
Shout out to Detroit. I want my ball back.
That was awesome. I wish he could have been there longer. Now, so I'm.
So
now,
was he still there? Was he there when the fight took
No,
place?
he
Oh,
dipped
okay.
like
he had just left.
he had a
Got it.
video shoot with Be Real that night, so he dipped beforehand and shit.
Which
So,
thank God, right? Because that would have been a terrible.
I mean,
one.
thank God. But he probably could have helped with the security. He's a big dude. He could have, maybe.
It would have been a little bit more viral if Bizarre. I mean, really, if they just kept the camera on. Well, honestly, we have that camera.
No, we have the angles.
The funniest shit about it, honestly, just to get past the fact that it's sad that Sus is not going to be on camera anymore, but like the way that Munchie did this, Munchie went.
Got some popcorn. You got popcorn, huh?
Like, I don't know exactly what happened in his brain, but he like popped.
No, he was sitting up like he was at the club. Yeah. Brandon, Sus didn't know until a little bit before the show that Brandon was going to be there. And they explained that kind of communication lapse and how that happened. I guess he had switched phone numbers.
Didn't feel like a squat on the
Yeah.
couch.
And look,
It's survival instincts, man.
and we all know physically.
Security footage. He almost fell off the back of the couch.
Yeah, that's what I was worrying about when I was watching it too. Yeah.
And we know that I'm not the most physically imposing figure, but if you
You
watch
did
the
try,
footage,
though.
I did hop up and try to get in the mix. Like, there's been other times where I didn't, and this time I did.
And who was the security guard? Like he looked like he was like
He's the man.
Coop, yeah, he's
high
Coop.
school
He was
student.
always
Man.
at the store and stuff. He's super good. Yeah,
But
Push Brandon back.
well, he's
made
super
sure,
small
like,
though. Like he's not really.
not super small.
he's
not
a
like a
lot smaller
giant,
than Brandon.
Okay.
He's smaller than Brandon, that's for damn sure.
Yeah.
But look,
Yeah, he looks small 'cause of Brandon.
So Flacco, keep in mind, I'm trying to make entertaining content, keep the show flowing with topics, make sure that we get the clips that we're supposed to be getting, and simultaneously make sure Bizarre's included and our other hosts, and not look like a. You feel me? Which is a crazy thing when me and Brandon have this not contentious relationship because me and Brandon are actually hella cool. But our
Not really though, man.
no, really though.
I'm not gonna let you get that off, man.
No, we really are
We have
actually.
some issues, but I don't.
No,
think
we
we
don't.
hate each other, right?
We have no issues.
True, but super cool is not even like a
Cooler-
viable option.
Hey,
They did a debate.
Yeah.
Cooler than you think we are.
I did a
promise
debate,
you.
and I mean, he gave you a hard time about being a druggie a little bit, or alcoholic, or whatever, and
And called him
now-
Boogie,
he
man.
kind of called you like a glazer and
Yeah.
a wannabe black dude type shit, whatever. Like, but
And the sky's blue.
Yeah,
you feel
I mean,
me?
it's
Like
No, Lush. Listen, no, Lush. Thing is this, bro. Like, you tried your best. So again, by no means am I saying it's on you. I'm saying
no, you made a whole video with that implication already. Before that, nobody was
No.
even thinking that. I get hell inboxes. This is your fault, Lush.
I'm saying, right, like in the future, man, because for me, when I look at this scenario, it's not even like a situation of, oh, we didn't know. I told you beforehand this would happen. And I
Flacco foresaw the whole situation.
laid down all my reasons why this would happen. And it kind of went ignored. And I'm saying is this, okay? Even with the aspect of your suspect didn't know until the morning of, that's crazy.
that is crazy because but there's the thing, he got a new number.
Yeah.
And I guess Josh had been texting his previous number. I didn't know he had a new number. Josh had been hitting up his previous number, but at the end of the day, it would have been nice for him to know way in advance, but he didn't know, and he ended up showing up regardless. And he knew that he was going to be on camera with somebody that he doesn't get along with. And I see a lot of people saying Brandon is so confrontational, Brandon is disrespectful, etc. Well, suspect is those things as well. but then suspect also, opened it up into the realm of physical violence, which is something that I just don't want this podcast to be like, male baddies. To any extent.
First, again,
several times.
Yeah, that's a good point.
But hold on,
honestly,
Adam, remember what we discussed last week on the No Jumper Show? Triggers. You know what I mean?
Don't stab me. That's my trigger. Don't fillet me.
No Swiss Army fileros. You feel me? But on top of that, like you
male
said,
baddies is crazy,
which is pretty obvious. Your kid is like a line that people can never cross.
For sure.
And Hefe echoed those sentiments, and he said the B word. I said I have no triggers. You can say whatever you want to me. I'm not gonna turn up. You feel me? I might turn up and go crazy, but I'm not gonna. There's nothing that anybody can say that's gonna lead me to a physical confrontation.
I also just think though that like as long as we're talking triggers, not wanting someone to insult your kid is a much more reasonable trigger than the B word, which is a very
usually everybody like keep it individual, keep it on the person. We don't gotta attack people that the loved ones that are connected to. We just keep it me and you, mano y mano. You know what I'm saying?
pretty common word.
For
not
sure.
that common to call other dudes that, but
No, the B words. No.
But also, suspect was saying
exactly.
it before Brandon started saying, and suspect kept calling him a fag and all this other shit. And it's like,
he was.
it's like, I mean,
But okay, so what's the so there is a difference though, since we're talking about that now. There's a difference between elementary insults, literally like grade school caps, and personal attacks. What did suspect really do to attack Brandon's character? Brandon is bringing up.
He questioned his sexuality, but I mean that is, elementary school. I could see that. It wasn't like too deep. It was just teasing, like, look at the shorts you got on, and you volunteered to supervise luscious drug screening. That ain't really all that deep, so that's fair.
That's really like personal and potentially embarrassing about sus. He's talking about, you got put off or whatever, the BPS thing.
But who started that though?
Who started that?
Because when the show started, again, Brendan said, "Yo, let's just go to topics," and then wait, and then a topic started off with the assist shit, and then I feel like what sparked it off was when suspect was like, "Yo, if you did not attack me, you wouldn't be here. You ain't shit." And then he responded back with, "Well, if you acting right like uncontrollable, I think he says like beta, then if that's what it took for me to be here, then so be it." So I feel like it, and he was trying to do topics. Y'all
No.
have
Fuck
the
that.
back and forth.
Shut the fuck up. You're wrong.
Okay.
No, and this is the
But
issue.
that's what happened, though.
I have a huge issue with what you just said. Trying to do topics, we literally had Sharp in the title. Torso Gate was part of the title.
Sure.
The first two topics on the screen said Sharp's name. We're trying to discuss it. I'm bringing, because it winds up becoming a random conversation about pimping and would you buy a purse and a bunch of random shit. We ain't trying to talk about shop.
All right, let's go to Brandon real quick, because Brandon gave his perspective.
What is up, everybody? We are back in the building. Please give me a 1 to let me know that you can hear me okay. Let me know that you can see me okay, and that you are locked in with this stream, and everything is all good. Look, guys, we got a call-in show today. So after a few minutes, I'm going to allow people to call in and do something that you never really get to do. You really have to let people, you really have to give people something that they don't have. And if I continue to be involved with the No Jumper Show, I want this to be the platform where you could come in and pretty much say what you want to say about the show. Like, I know y'all got a lot y'all want to say that goes beyond just text, right? Come over here and do it. Yesterday, you guys saw a crazy situation that
Brandon, that's genius. That is genius. That ain't gonna do nothing but blow his platform up. That is genius.
Unfolded with your boy Almighty Dotson, aka Luscious Butt Boy. And I know people got a lot of opinions on that. And listen, let me just play this real quick, because do y'all know this guy just was...
Who this slid through? Who this slid to? Rock 3, what's the deal, man? Appreciate you coming with the sub. You feel me? On the, you know what I mean? What he come through on? Oh, that's on YouTube. Okay, all praises. Shout out Rock 3.
Was unceremoniously fired from No Jumper. And there's a lot of speculation as to whether or not this was something that was planned, whether or not this was something that I was hoping for. And I want to tell you whether that's true or not right after this. Let's do it like this. Let's kick it old school. All right, here we go.
I have an announcement. Many of you are probably expecting this. Confrontation. Got that time attacking her, kind of stuff, but fly off the handle like that. That they see
Almighty Dotson's fired.
In that clip, sort of.
To me, she tells his girl to do with.
I will.
All right, so basically, you just heard there why suspect was fired, right? It doesn't have so much to do with me as it does with him. And, you know, he's been repeatedly told about his behavior on No Jumper. His boss has warned him. I'm sure other people on the platform have warned him. I'm sure when he goes home, his girlfriend warns him, hey, babe, you up there tripping? Because I know, you know, my lady warns me. She tells me, hey.
The woman is decent. If you got a decent woman, she gonna, you know what I mean? She gonna have them conversations with you, right? We understand biblically it tells us wisdom is feminine, right? So there's something nurturing about a spirit of wisdom. So there's a way in which your woman is supposed to be able to minister to you and nurture you with wisdom and with insight from a unique perspective that you don't have at times, that is very necessary for your survival and thrival. Thrival's not even a word, just made that up right now. But you know, your girl, if you got a decent one, she's supposed to be there for you in those instances and let you know when you might be tripping and you can't see it, in a way that you can receive, right?
You need to be like, you talk too much, or you need to let other people get a word in.
He's telling you what his girl is telling him. You know, he is telling you exactly what his woman is telling him.
So
because she wants him to be better.
Situation with suspect is not really about me as much as it is about him being such an egomaniac or being bipolar or something, to where, you know, he's just not getting the message that is continuously, you know, being delivered to him. And as the old saying goes, those who will not hear must be made to feel. And I'm pretty sure that this morning, bro is feeling the consequences of his actions.
And guess what? This is worse than the ass whooping. Going outside and lining that fade up, you know, those wounds, they will heal. If you hit a man, his wounds, they will heal. But this embarrassment and then losing your job, your income that's been steady for years is, man, and it's funny, him and Flacco just got done having a conversation saying that they were the only two still remaining that were at the old No Jumper building. Now it's only Flacco. That's crazy, right?
There's a very famous motivational speaker named Les Brown. And one of his most famous quotes is, the reasons don't matter, only the results. So when you see this dude jumping,
the reasons don't matter, only the results. Ain't that something?
up, acting tough, do something, all that shit. Guys, this is exactly what we've been talking about for 5 going on 6 years. This is exactly what we've been talking about since the 80s. Dudes sitting up here putting their ego in this fake tough guy persona in front of everything. Ego over everything. I'm willing to throw away my livelihood. I'm willing to put my family in a very strained financial situation because I just can't get past my own damn ego. People hit me up and said, do you feel sorry for Sus even a little bit? I don't feel sorry for that idiot. The reason why I don't feel sorry for him is because I gave him a chance, many chances, to take things in another direction. Actually, us just sitting down on the pod together was an opportunity for him to take this shit in a different direction. And what did he choose to do? Like a child. Oh, I still want to crack jokes. I want to start the stream off. We got freaking a legend, Bizarre, sitting in front of us. And instead of saying, dude, let me get in my hip hop bag, which he clearly has one.
Yeah.
Instead of being like, dude, let me
raise around it.
Showcase my superior understanding.
Yeah, because, you know, me personally, it's crazy. Like, Bizarre was it was bizarre to see Bizarre on no jumper. You ain't heard of Bizarre. Shout out to Detroit, though, by the way. But I remember my pops, he was the only person I ever knew, my father that is, who had the Bizarre solo album and would play it and liked it. And we was riding around in that damn, my dad had the H2. Nigga, he was playing that motherfucking Bizarre solo album. I'm like, who, nigga, you the only nigga. Like, I was the only nigga who had the Manny Fresh solo album that I knew. But he was definitely the only person who had the Bizarre. Right, let's look at his discard real quick. He had a solo album. Handicap Circus, Blue Cheese and Coney Island. That's crazy. It had to be one of these. Was it this one? Or was it this one? Yeah, it had to be Handicap Circus. It had to be. Absolutely had to be.
Of hip hop. I can get a one up on Brandon because he doesn't know much about hip hop, and I'm like a dictionary when it comes to hip hop. And I got my boyfriend Glazed Me Lush, and I got Bizarre, a legend, sitting right in front of us. Instead of working with the guest, instead of playing towards his strengths, the man chose to turn it into a middle school joke shooting contest. And it was like, you might have got me with the booty shorts jokes, but it was not such a clear, flawless victory to where it helped you any. People was like, bro was like trying to drag me to the dirt. And then so I started dragging him to the dirt. You gay, you this, you that. Bro, first of all, don't nobody even care about people being gay like that nowadays. But you trying to drag me to the dirt, so I got to bring up how you got your ass hold out by your own homies. I got to bring up the fact that you tried to go off on Jaleese live on air after she rejected your sexual advance.
But I raised that down, though.
I gotta drag you to the dirt. But the thing I'm saying is, we gotta stop doing this. This is something that has to stop. So do I feel sorry for Suspect? No. I feel like everybody should take a lesson from this idiot. Let it be a lesson to you. Don't ever think you're too big for the room. Don't ever think you're bigger than who you really are. Because you could wake up one day with a damn receding hairline, unemployed, looking your kids in the face like, damn, daddy blew it. Like, bro, you already living in a 1-bedroom apartment with your baby mama and her mama because you too scared to go home because DC baby Draco is chasing you around LA. And you blew what you had. Now what you about to do? Go back to McDonald's? Because that's where you used to work. I'm just like, there's no win in it for this dude. And what you got to understand is people will lose everything trying to hold on to a little bit of nothing. That man wanted to hold on to this tough guy image so bad that he was willing to.
And there was no need to, because of course you don't portray yourself to be a gangster. You stand on the fact that you made the logical decision to not go down that path, though you had inclinations and interest in it. You say, you know, I'm not gonna do that gangster stuff, man. That stuff was created by middle school kids. I ain't gonna follow that, right? So you made the logical decision of refusing that path. So why are you trying to maintain such a hardened image? It doesn't make sense.
Throw away his livelihood, where he gets paid to sit on camera, roll up weed, and smoke it while talking about anything he chooses to. Like, bro, you literally tricked yourself out of your position, bro. I mean, the guy was so damn tough last night. And I'm just looking like, bro, you don't even have to do all this. No one's trying to take anything from you. I'm not. I'm sitting here trying to have a pod. But when people say, oh, Dotson deserves another chance and all this shit. No, bro. Every time I said, man, let's get back to the topics. Shout out to Flacco because he kept bringing that up.
Yeah.
I repeatedly kept saying, hey, guys, let's get back to the topics. All right, man. I said, you win, man. You win. Let's get back to the topics. Bro could not handle that. He couldn't just let it be about the topics because he's trying to prove something.
Look at that. I think Sus was trying to prove himself around and Bizarre for real. If you really did pull a poker, that do make him look scary for real. Yeah. And that's kind of the thing, because he said that, like, oh, these niggas been jumping, they Munchie and Anna been jumping their joints. Like, he probably felt like he had to try to prove himself because of the reputation, the gangster resume that Young Ant and Munchie B have, both coming up off of that Manchester. You know, that might have made him feel like, and that's why the wisdom of the Holy Bible is so important, because it tells you not to try to make yourself equal with people that you simply are not equal to. Your gangster is not on a level. You're not a gangster at all. You don't claim to be. Remain in that lane, right? Remain in that lane. And when you do that, the expectation, but here's the problem though. He already dug himself a grave, right? I'm gonna explain how he dug himself a grave. Suspect digs himself a grave when he whoops Kelpie out, and then he gets tough with Jalise. When you do those things, you have to have reciprocated energy. The energy has to be consistent. So when you start clashing with grown men like Brandon, you gotta do that, right? But the results of you going at it with a girl like Jalise, or the results of you going at it with Kelpie, aren't going to be the same results. And you know that. You know not to treat Brandon like you would treat Kelpie or Jalise. He poses so much farther more of a threat than either of those individuals does. So when you reciprocate that energy, you have to begin to factor in various things. And then that leads to irrational and rash decisions, because insecurity has your brain scrambled. You don't know what to do, right? He said, I ain't know exactly what was going to happen, but I knew it wasn't going to end well. I did too. I knew it was only a matter of time. Before that pod went left. I was impressed that went as long as it did. When it first started, I felt like it was already going to go left. The fact that they were able to get it on any semblance of a track for any amount of time, and it was like 2 hours, that was amazing to me.
Never be able to prove. He wants to be recognized and acknowledged as a better podcaster than me. Listen, man, the way you're going to get there is by putting in the work. You're not going to get there by talking. You're going to get there by showing and proving. But instead of proving it, all the guy proved is that he can't control his emotions. That's it. And Adam had to fire him. Do you know I was talking to Adam like days before this? I was like, bro, I think Dodson and me will make a really good podcast because we both have big personalities. Oh yeah, this is the McDonald's. He used to work at McDonald's and now he's gonna be back at McDonald's. He used to work at McDonald's, now he's gonna go back there. He's gonna go back there. Bro looks sick as hell. I gotta let y'all see that one more time. Let me pause it. Bro about to be back at McDonald's. And this is following the situation. And bro looking like he know he fucked up. He know he fucked up. This is directly after that whole situation. So you literally...
This is the exact moment. If y'all remember, I slowed it down on my reaction too. Like, man, look at such place. He knew he fucked up. Yeah, they got a picture of him when he worked at McDonald's, man. Oh, they saying Sus gotta put the fries in the bag, man.
Spit on me. I mean,
you know, maybe this will be a good opportunity for him to, you know, get back in his rapper bag and really go back hard and take rap seriously.
According to y'all, I didn't know spit touch me, but hey, and y'all watching from 2D vision, y'all saw it. But you literally spit at me. Then you pull a knife out because you swore you wanted a fade. You know, you finally do something that make me jump up and do something. I'm gonna do something to you. You pull a knife out. I go out the bro said make fuck up. I go out the room. You don't fuck.
Cookie Lover in his chat said Beige Rage. No, don't disrespect Beige Rage. Beige Rage is far more bona fide than that. I really Beige Rage. That wasn't no Beige Rage. That was some beige bullshit. Let's be real. Don't disrespect Beige Rage like that. Beige Rage is a real thing, and it, you know, put some respect on it.
Follow me out with a weapon. You got a weapon on top of that. You don't follow me out. You hide in the room like you won, and now your face is looking like this.
Because you could have literally followed him out and did something. So that's what I was waiting to understand. Well, what happened after the camera went off? Brandon, like he told him, you can follow me right outside and we can do it. He went outside, Sus ain't follow. That lets you know Sus ain't want to do nothing. Sus want to do a PC move, a publicity stunt that was ill-advised, and it cost him his job.
And now the next day, your own homie Lush is basically blowing you off like it ain't even no big deal. Dumb. You're just dumb as hell.
Yeah.
And this is what this fool wants us to be like, applauding an idiot with a receding hairline who was his highest achievement was shift leader at McDonald's before this, and now he about to be right back there. The funny thing is, you would think somebody like me would be the one crashing out. I got a job. I don't need no jumper to feed my family. Bro, this...
He said, eat his family, feed your family.
This is your whole livelihood. This is your whole livelihood. And you threw it away to prove what? That's my question. You threw it away to prove what? That you're the toughest guy. We know you're not the toughest guy in the room, dummy. We know you're not the toughest guy in the room. We all know that. So why in the hell would you even try to create this persona like you're so super tough and you bout that action and all that? You're not even the best person at your job. But you know, the guy he got something to prove. And what he wanted to prove, he never ended up proving. All he really proved was that he's an idiot. That's the saddest part.
Yeah.
So now you got point and shoot and everybody else. You basically gave them exactly what they wanted. Like, people don't understand. There are thousands of people who simply hate watch. All they do is hate watch No Jumper. You gave these people exactly what they wanted. You even gave Adam what he wanted in a major way, because now he's going to make $100,000 off of this shit. And what are you? And all you got was fired. All you got was fired. Guys, if this is winning, what the hell is losing? If this is winning, what does losing feel like? Because this man is a 5-time loser. I mean, he's losing his hair. He failed as a rapper. He failed as a podcaster, and he failed as a pimp. He failed in the grace of hair, in the gauntlet of hair. Adam went.
Yeah, this nigga Brandon is crazy. He failed in the gauntlet of hair.
To Turkey and got his hair replaced and didn't even take this idiot with him. And now you done lost your job as a podcaster. And nobody, and what I want people to understand is nobody made Suspect do this shit. Suspect chose to do this. This was a choice. Because everybody in the room sat there quietly, listening to him running off at the mouth. And I'm sure everybody was thinking the same damn thing. Like, bro, okay, bro, just shut the fuck up. We get it. You know a lot of people in hip hop. I mean, bro, we have Bizarre, a legend from Detroit, in the room. Bro couldn't even get a word in because Suspect would not shut up. This is an easy day at work. Sit down, ask a couple of introspective questions, make a connection with Bizarre, to get some pics. You know what I'm saying? Post that on your social media. Easy as pie. Bro took a very easy, good day and turned it into one of the worst days of his life. Because if you could have saw the look of terror in that dude's eyes when I ran up on him, you would have just saw that this guy in no way, shape, or form was in the mental space to fight somebody of my size or ability. He literally looked terrified. He pulled out the knife and was fumbling. That's how bad it was. It was so comical that I started laughing. I literally start busting up. Me and Hefe start busting up laughing. Even the security guards start laughing. Bro just looks so damn stupid.
Everybody was laughing. He didn't realize, and that's an unfortunate place to be. It's a scary place to be. When you don't realize everyone in the room is looking at you like a joke. Everybody in the room is looking at you like a clown. You think you're looking hard and you're going big and everybody's laughing at you. Excuse me, that is a horrible place to be.
It was like, really, nigga? You did all that to do this? I thought bro was really gonna crash. Like, bro, if it was me, I'd have been like, man, this big nigga gonna run up and I'm gonna just throw the hardest punch I ever threw in my life and live with it. Live or die with it. Bro tried to fumble for a Swiss Army knife. I said, bro.
And that's how you know that young man ain't got no experience yanking on nothing, poking nothing. So you got to think about it. All this stuff sound good, right? Shooting a motherfucker. Let me explain to y'all, right? Fighting a motherfucker, shooting a motherfucker, stabbing a motherfucker. All that shit sound good, right? In theory. You done sat back, you done watched it in the movies, right? You done seen motherfuckers in your mind. I remember a moment, I slapped the fuck out of that nigga. Somebody said something, and I said, have you ever slapped the fuck out of somebody before? So what makes you so confident that you're going to be able to do this to this other grown-ass man, right? A lot of shit sound good, and in theory, you can visualize it because you've seen it happen in a movie, right? On a TV, on a YouTube World Star compilation. You done seen that, right? But really getting in there, getting in the paint, and catching a fade is not the movies. Mike Tyson had a saying, right? Everybody got a plan until they get punched in the mouth, right? Okay, cool. Because when you get punched in the mouth, all that shit you thought you was gonna do, it come crashing down, and now you panic, you don't know what to do. Right? This is what they don't want to hear for him to me. This is what they don't want to hear. Nigga, I'll pop you. Ooh. Damn. Ooh, right? Okay, cool. Now stabbing. You go home, you get the blade. But when it come time to use, number one, to take it, to get it out, you done stashed it. He done had it, you know, because he had the hoodie on. Oh, I got a hoodie. I got to pull my handles up in here. Look, they got, all right. Right? Then he got his jacket on. Okay, I got his jacket on, right? Okay. Okay, we go for this demonstration. We're gonna use an Allen wrench for this demonstration, right? Okay. Sit my ass down, right? So, sus, he's sitting there. He got it. He in his mind, he like, man. He bubbling in his mind, like, yeah, nigga. I'ma show him. I'ma show everybody. Once you be here, the joint IFG. Young and Hefe in here, the joint ETG. I'ma show him. Right? And what he did in his mind, he got this shit. He got this little, you know what I'm saying, little knife. He's like, yeah, that nigga trying to run up, I'ma stab that nigga. Right? He got some bullshit Swiss Army knife. Right? You see the size of Brandon? You need Crocodile Dundee for Cub. Right? So now he jump up on him. You know the Swiss Army, you gotta fold it out, you gotta, he don't even realize what it's gonna take to really poke a nigga. This ain't the movies. You see what I'm saying? It's not the movies, bro. It's real life. You ain't just gonna be able to flick the switchblade out the way you think it is, nigga. You ain't did that before. You a little late in the game to just get your first stabbing, nigga. You damn near 30 years old. You think you gonna wake up and stab a nigga in the heat of battle all of a sudden? I think not. What's wrong with these people, dog? No, hold on, man. I ain't done. See, I'm a felon, right? I'm a felon. I can't have no gun. But I keep the Dundee, right? You want to stab a nigga Brandon size pimp? You gonna need something. You see that? That's the blade in the bottom of the handle, coming out the bottom of the handle. You're going to need something with a sturdy blade that's got strong foundation nailed into that handle. If you want to do damage to a Brandon, what the fuck you going to do with a Swiss Army knife, nigga? You know when the first time I pulled a Swiss Army knife, trying to poke a nigga with a Swiss Army knife when I was 10 years old. You damn near 30. You trying to Swiss Army knife on a grown man? That's a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. You about a dumb motherfucker, bro. You stupid as hell. You are stupid as hell. You gonna need something like this. Right, I'm not gonna, you know what I mean? You're gonna need something like this, though. Nice and sturdy. Right? And we done pulled this about the sheath. I've been having these years. And it gets the job done. Praise the Lord. What's wrong with sus? Too small, nigga. That shit worked in elementary school, nigga. Come on.
Bro. I literally just caught myself like, what am I doing? What am I doing? This dude's he's scared of you. What's the point? I actually thought he was going, it would have been more honorable for him to pull out a gun.
Yeah, like he said, that Swiss Army knife was not going to stop Brandon from doing what he wanted to do. It wasn't.
To me. Because it was like, okay, at least you came, you about business. Bro pulled out the knife and then says, what knife, you police ass? Like, this is what happens when people actually...
Then like bro said, and on top of that, the Swiss Army knife is dull as hell usually. What did you think you was going to do with that? You was going to have to put that in his retina, nigga. That's about the only place on his body that you were going to be able to penetrate and do serious damage to. And you wasn't about to do that. You don't have the expertise or the steady hands or the technology to pull off a procedure of that magnitude. You just don't.
I told you guys a couple days ago, that the street shit is over, bro.
Facts.
The street shit is over. Because when the lights go out and the cameras is cut off, you looking like Dotson in the face. This is what you look like when you're trying to impress the streets and you realize, damn, I just blew it. Trying to impress the streets. The streets don't love nobody. It chews you up and it spits you out. So if you base your whole identity on the street life and trying to project this street persona, you're just gonna end up looking like an idiot at the end. And what I will say is, don't say I spare suspect. God spare suspect. Because let's be real, if suspect was living like 20 years ago, bro would be dead already. Somebody would already lit fire to his ass and deleted him a long time ago. Because back when we were young, the type of shit he do, that shit didn't fly. That shit flies now on social media. You know, people are generally no bullying and stuff. But bro would have got ate up along, you know, when we were younger with all the antics he be trying to pull. But the thing about him, everybody was trying to prove he just proved what we all knew. Bro is doing selective politicking. He's acting tough with one group of people, but if you put him in a room with 4 extras, Munchie B, Brick Baby, and Big U, he's gonna change into somebody else. The thing about me is, at least you can say I'm consistent. At least you like, nah, Brandon talk too much, no matter where he is, no matter who he's in the room with. Let me get this super chat. Dilly Dope Nadas. I have never donated money to a podcaster before, but I have no problem supporting you, Brandon. It's well deserved. Stay keeping it real, bro. Thank you so much. I appreciate the contribution, my brother. Let me also get my boy, Sticks and Stones LA. When keeping it real goes wrong. Yep. Exactly.
Yeah. Another episode.
All we're watching is suspect have a bunch of Boondock style nigga moments. And it's entertaining for a while, bro. But at this point, bro has made everybody hate him because that's all he has to offer. Getting all crazy, screaming in people's face, really ruining the show, fucking up the content, because every conversation is a personal, like, he takes it as a personal attack. Any disagreement, anybody who cracks a joke on him, even though he leads with jokes, he's just a hypocrite. The worst kind. The hypocrite who wants to take it to a physical, but really who claims they want a physical altercation. But we realize this person don't want no physical altercation. And I told you guys from the jump, everything I have said about this idiot has come true. When we first got into it, didn't I tell you that bro does not want to fight? Didn't I tell you? Didn't I tell y'all that all bro gonna do is try to pull out a weapon? I told y'all that months ago.
Facts.
So when it came time for the rubber to meet the road, what did he do? Bro pulled out a knife. Like, really? Like, nigga, you went to work. You brought a knife to work to potentially stab your co-host? For what? For calling you names that you've been calling him for weeks? Guys, could you imagine, say suspect killed me. Could you imagine him trying to defend this shit on the stand? Could you imagine him in court trying to plead not guilty and give this as his justification? That's what I think about. Like, bro, how am I going to explain this when they put me on the stand? This is what I'm saying. And we know that coward didn't want to fight.
Damn, that's crazy. Good point, though, bro. That could be looking at as premeditated. And he's going to get some further details on that. But we're forgetting, too, that Almighty Suspect is out on bond right now. So this actually isn't conducive for his ongoing case. I think he got a pistol case right now. So now you're brandishing a weapon on a public podcast. And even if Brandon didn't bleed the fact that you pulled a knife, Adam got right on the TV and said that today. So it doesn't really matter.
I'm gonna play this and you're gonna see it right here.
He liked to wrestle his own match and grab booty cheeks.
Damn.
He liked to defend
I like booty
pedophiles.
cheeks, that's for sure.
That's crazy. He liked to
I didn't defend
pedophiles.
anyone.
He liked to watch.
Wait, okay. I want you guys to first see this. He's cracking his jokes. Am I acting angry towards this guy? No. Am I showing animosity? Am I trying to get all riled up? Because there's some idiots who are in the comments on these other videos saying that I agitated him. Listen to this guy's horrible jokes. Listen to how nobody's laughing. And listen to how I'm just going with it. I'm literally just going with it like, whatever. Yep, I like to wrestle men on the mat. Oh, he likes to grab booty. Yeah, I like to grab booty cheeks. Okay, whatever you say, bro. Let's get back to the potting. It got to the point where the adults in the room, including Lush, safe to say for this incident, we were over it. We were over it. Let's go. Okay, bro, we get it. We get it. You want to say I'm gay. I knew for weeks that him and Lush were plotting this gay narrative that they were going to run on me because the producers at No Jumper was like, just to let you know, they're all hyped up on this gay thing. They want to just like make you out to be gay. I was like, okay, that's cool. They warn you about shit that ain't even worthy of being warned about because they don't understand how black people really interact. They don't understand that in any room full of black men, Suspect will always be a bitch. He will always be a little.
Hey, look, I'm gonna tell you what's cold, right? You know, I thought that he was about to be like really eloquent and articulate with the position of Suspect in a room of black men. Nah, he just cut the juggler. Suspect in any room of black men, Suspect is the odd man out, the bitch.
How black people really interact. They don't understand that in any room full of black men, Suspect will always be a bitch.
Now, to further Brandon's point, we got Brandon, we got Aunt Hefe, we got Munchie B, we got Almighty Suspect. Out of those four guys, see what I'm saying? Yeah, great point.
He will always be a little high yellow bitch who can't stand up for himself, so he has to call his father to fight his battles or bring a weapon. Bro ain't got one video highlight nothing of him whooping nothing out that ain't a little white boy, Kelpie, or jumping up in Jaleesa's face, or calling his dad to try to fight AD, or...
No, but I'm going to give him this, though. He did mark out dude who Jalise be coming with. He kind of marked him out.
Trying to pull a knife on me. If you really put the magnifying glass on this dude, Suspect is the kid at school who tries to bully other kids because he has a bad home life. He comes here and tries to make himself big by trying to make other people feel small. But just like that kid on the playground, once he runs into somebody who is unfazed by his antics, he has to act like he wants to resort to violence. I mean, bro, this is like some shit on a movie. A very bad B-level movie, but this is like psychology 101 type shit. Bro clearly has a Napoleon complex or something. Something about his life, his insecurities are playing out in real time on these podcasts. And that's what he couldn't handle because he wants to crack. See, the thing about Suspect versus me is that he has to lie on me to get a reaction. But Suspect, I know you're watching this. All I got to do is tell the truth about you. That's when you know you fucked up. When you got to lie on somebody to get a reaction, but all they have to do to get a reaction is tell the truth about you, you're way out of your league. Clifton, the colored milkman. Yo, Bucci, I respect that you handle Dotson with professionalism. Dude is a sensitive, emotional mole rat. One word. Thank you, my brother. I appreciate the super chat. But yeah, bro, listen, can I tell y'all something I didn't even bring up? I'm gonna tell y'all something I didn't even bring up that I could have just whooped him out on. Before we got in that studio, I could call Luscious bitch ass right now and confirm that. Before we got in that studio, right? This dude went on a rant. He was in front of Bazaar, the dude from D12. Before we walked in that studio, suspect went on a rant telling everybody in the foyer area how he used to be on drugs, he used to be on pills, how his dad even came to him and told him, hey bro, you tweaking, you tripping on them drugs. Like his dad literally was like telling him, bro, you doing crackhead shit. We didn't used to do that when we was younger. He literally said when his dad was telling him this, he was like, man, shut your old ass up, you old ass nigga. He was saying that in his mind, right? But how do you sit in a room full of grown men and you feeling so hyped up and you fanning out that you're now telling everybody your whole entire drug use history? After he lied to me and said, I don't do drugs. Only drug I've ever did was smoke weed. I'm just sitting there on my phone, like listening to this shit. Like, bro, are you serious?
But you brag about being on lean though.
Right now? Are you serious? This is how we're gonna start this as professionals, with you telling everybody that you used to be a crackhead, bro. I'm just sitting there, and listen, what you have to understand, outside all the fake tough guy shit, me and Sus was sitting in the same room for 45 minutes. Me and Sus was sitting in the same foyer area of No Jumper for 45 minutes before the show started. Even Donnie, when I walked into the door, he said, hey man, you want to just go through the back? So when they come in, you already in there to keep anything from jumping off between you and suspect. Yeah, I literally
liquid opiate.
He said, I ain't worried about that, bitch. Excuse me. And walked right in. Security wanding niggas down. But what I'm saying is, you know you're a true bitch because niggas are getting wanded down and you had to sneak out of the room. You see where he's sitting? Bro kept getting up and leaving. Bro was...
And I noticed that and I was wondering about that.
Sneaking out of the room to go get the knife out of his car. He kept getting up and leaving. He got up and left a couple times. And I think he got up and left the first 3 times to see if the security was watching his ass. And then by the 4th time, the security probably like, man, bro, probably going to the bathroom. Probably going to do a line of coke or something. He literally walked to the car. And that's when he came back with the knife. And that's the moment when bro started trying to get tough. After the final time, the last time he walked to the car, that's when he started to try to get tough and say.
Now, this is what Brandon is saying. Now, I believe Brandon, but let's fact check our brother real quick. Like, we gonna fact check our brother real swift. So when does it crack? Right here. Okay, this is when it cracks. So now. Okay, look. Let's take a look.
That shit is gay, Kendrick.
Hey, no, bro, stop.
Hey, you do know Mexicans think Odie's is theirs, right?
Yeah, but it's not. We know the truth.
So what you talking?
So he gets up. This is at 3:20.
Hey, low riders and shit for.
Okay, why was he talking?
Whites in baseball, then came the Negro League. Look, the Negro League came and transcended baseball.
Facts.
Now today, you can barely see a black in baseball. It's like more like Hispanic or Spanish.
Y'all know who Robert Johnson is? Chuck Berry, fucking Little Richard. Rock music was
hey,
black.
Stop name dropping. That's all you fucking do is name drop.
So I have more frames of reference than you because I'm more intelligent.
You don't say nothing about these people. Just you ever heard of Ella Fitzgerald?
You don't know who the fuck I'm talking about.
Bro,
yeah, I know. You know how I know who Ella Fitzgerald is? Because my great grandfather threw the first integrated concert in the U.S. in Ella Fitzgerald.
So he comes back 2 minutes later. 2 minutes later.
Gerald fucking performed there.
Entitlement is a female trait.
Man, let me tell you.
So now look, he done came back. He got the hoodie on all of a sudden.
I caught that, Mark.
You see his look on his face? He feels secure now.
Yeah.
Look, you clip farming. That's cool.
You're Martin Luther King.
Martin.
fucking great one, Lush.
Right. The thing about this is one of the issues that a lot of black artists have with his supposed to say that name. He who shall not be named. He's got some jams, bro.
Drizzy, the chick from Chicago?
We should play one of his songs.
I mean, Drizzy.
We get copyright.
No, he don't got copyright on it.
No, we not doing. Because
You a hating ass nigga?
No, we can play his music on the music
We
stream on
are doing
Friday.
all that cheerleading
We
in
can
your
play him on
booty
the music
shorts,
stream on
nigga.
Friday.
No.
See that? So yes, so he leaves. He comes back with a hoodie on, and it looks like about 7-8 minutes later. That was crazy. He said he got a point. That shit transpired right after he came back in. See that? So about 7-8 minutes, he was sitting, plotting, looking for his opportunity. You ever, you know what I'm saying, want to start something with somebody and you like, I gotta find my angle, and then he's finding this angle right here.
No, because they was talking. No,
We're not gonna let you put your boyfriend on cheerleading with them booty shorts.
back when it was me and
Put
four
your
other
pom-poms
real
away
black
and your
men
booty
in
shorts.
We can play him on Friday on the music stream.
Listen,
You guys got that coming.
listen, I'm telling you,
He better
all that
be
shit
wrong.
y'all was talking about the beef and all the West Coast, bro, way better than all of you. Put that dude on Friday, Kyrie
We gonna
Doty.
run that.
You know the dude with the goddamn.
Oh yeah,
you
that
know-
fool is hard.
Hey, that
actually.
nigga's
Okay.
hard, bro.
That
Y'all
fool is
niggas
hard.
suck.
But with that being
Y'all
said,
got me into hip hop now, so I'm looking at people.
I'm glad that we're opening
Kyrie
your mind.
Doty. Kyrie Doty,
So-
look it up.
So do you guys feel like sus? What made you even decide to come on the pod? Because at first you weren't even.
I didn't know until this morning. And if I'm on the flyer, I'm coming. I'm not scared of this bitch ass nigga. They say he coming.
Now he's a bitch ass nigga. look at Brandy.
They
Retarded.
say he coming. I'm not finna not come. I didn't give a fuck.
Hey, listen.
Whatever happened.
Oh, you
You
ain't
ain't,
noticed it to this
you ain't scared of me, but I know who you are scared of.
Bring him. Bring him.
That's how it started.
Stuff like, didn't nobody call me a bitch, even though we were calling each other bitches the whole pod. I'm looking at this dude like, how much weed did you smoke, nigga? Like, you really forgot that we've been cracking jokes and calling each other names this whole pod? But that's because at that point, he had the knife. So now he had to try to find a reason to stir up some shit to try to get me to run up on him so he could try to shank me and say, oh, that was self-defense. It's bird brain nigga logic. And if you got a brain in your skull, you know exactly what the nigga was trying to do. You know exactly what he was trying to do. I peeped it, bro. I peeped it. Rich Trapper, bro. Y'all saw when I was texting on my phone, right? My nigga Rich Trapper was texting me like, hey, watch that nigga, cause he keep getting up, going out the room.
Damn. Rich Trapper peeped the whole situation. Been hard as hell to beat in court.
I ain't even gonna say I caught that. These
But Rich Trapper put you on point.
podcasters who be commenting on No Jumper, they caught that and told me about it. Because my whole goal
I
is
thought it definitely was strange that he kept getting up, but I thought maybe he was just uncomfortable. I didn't know. I didn't think that for sure. Because I expected it to happen at the beginning when they had their first heated exchange. After that, I figured it was going to go left. I didn't know how. But yeah, I wasn't thinking that. That was a cold catch by their Rich Trapper.
to bring people together, bro. I'm about to go to the grand opening of Marathon Burger on May 31st with the dudes from 60s and shit. I just want to bring people together, bro. I'm not out here to try to divide. We already divided enough. But the reason we're divided is because of niggas like Suspect, Dotson. Because niggas like that, they place their own personal insecurities in front of unity and progress.
He's cooking. Brandon's cooking. W assessment.
Bro, this was one, listen, this stream, even once Bizarre left, was the most watched stream all month long. I'm looking at the numbers on the computer. I'm like, hey, we doing like 6,000 views. And Bizarre been gone. I'm getting excited, bro. I'm getting excited. I'm literally like, hey, this gonna be one of them ones.
W stream.
This where niggas really prove their value and their worth, and that we could stand on our own and don't need Adam in the room every freaking pod to make the numbers stay high. This is how you build and increase your value to a company or a job or whatever. This is how you show your value, show your worth. I know what I'm worth. I know I can get at least 1,000 people to fuck with me. I got a video on No Jumper of me talking to a white dude. That bitch had over 100,000 views without no clips being produced until yesterday. And I hit up Adam like, hey, y'all didn't work that video right. And he like, bro, yeah, something going on with these niggas with the clips. Let me hit him up. It's already at over 100,000. Me and GRLA Hebrew. Me and GRLA Hebrew got into it, bro. We didn't get into it. We had a debate like men, right?
Facts.
No insults, no name calling, no curse words. Somebody said, bro, this is the first time I ever saw a debate on No Jumper with no curse words. That bitch did over 100,000 views.
Facts.
Me and GRLA Hebrew was shooting jokes, talking shit to each other, but afterwards we maintained respect among each other.
Facts.
I got dudes from his camp that I know, his Hebrew Israelite camp, calling me, oh, bro, that's the chief, that's this and that. Man, I love that interview. It's all love. We don't gotta agree, but it's all love.
Facts.
Y'all can't ever say Brandon can't sit down with a dude, disagree with him, and leave on peaceful terms. The only one who has never proven themselves able to do that is Dotson.
Facts.
The only way he's gonna, he won't even beef with a nigga he think is tougher than him, or a nigga he think is willing to take it to the next level. Bro, I sit down with anybody.
And literally, let's just be real. It's probably just the demeanor and the way that Brandon presents himself, because he's not leaning into, being from the streets, and he speaks, enunciates in a certain way, and in suspect's mind, he looking at Brandon like Brandon's a square, not even factoring in, number one, of course, Brandon is a trained martial artist, and Brandon comes from the streets. He's just transcended that, and he doesn't look to embrace it because he sees the problems with it. So he became a critic of it as somebody who ascended from it, which is totally fine. He have a right to do that. But don't think, and I've seen situations like that where somebody's not coming in extra out, acting like they hard, etc., etc. So the weak person in the situation is looking at that person like that person's on the plate or on the menu, and really, nigga, you're on the menu when you try it, because this part have a whole nother side that he's not showing you, and you're hollow. You're just a facade. You just what's in front. There's nothing inside. So that's real.
My message is universal. Any man can get it. My opinions, my talking points. We not talking about fighting. It's just like Charleston White say, niggas have no conflict resolution skills. Bro, by the second hour on the pod, I was like, you know what? This could be a good situation.
Yeah, and I really, because I was watching, I don't know how I tuned out. I know I had something to go do, but I'm just like, damn, I missed it. I'm like, nigga, I missed it, nigga. Oh, hell no.
We cracking a few jokes back and forth, but I don't feel like strangling this nigga.
Yeah, it was all good.
Right now, we making progress. Never really felt like doing nothing to him until he spit at me. But this dude is so insecure and so unable to read a room, he don't even know when he's winning. The nigga's lost so much in his life. Rap career, fake pimp career, fake pod, the end of his podding career so far, as we know. Right? He's lost so much, he don't even know when he's winning. This man has lost so much, he's so accustomed to losing, he can't even see when he's winning. We was winning yesterday, and bro found a way to turn that into an L. That's somebody that you don't even need to be around. Somebody who could turn a win into a loss within seconds. That's why Adam got rid of his ass. It had nothing to do with me. He been wanting to get rid of this thing. I already know. He didn't tell me, but I already know in my mind. Because the minute you start calling somebody a fag, your video is automatically demonetized. That's hate speech. Bro said that multiple times. You could say, oh, you gay, you this, you that. That's cool. But the FAG, the F slur, as they call it, it's almost to the point where like, I'm thinking like, is this dude purposely trying to sabotage No Jumper? Because bro gotta understand that not only does he depend on this platform to feed his children, there are a dozen other people in that warehouse who depend on this platform to feed their children. And he says these dudes are his friends, but what kind of friend creates volatile situations that threaten everybody's livelihood? With friends like that, who needs enemies, guys? With friends like that, who needs enemies? Man, I gotta feed my damn kids, bro. And you in there pulling knives out on guests. With friends like that, who needs enemies? And then you dumb niggas is, oh, give him another chance. Bro, shut the hell up. Bro, Walmart wouldn't even give him another chance.
I mean, this is his second chance. We do have to remember he already had an episode of spitting on somebody and assaulting them. He's on second chance.
McDonald's wouldn't even give him another chance. But No Jumper is racist if they don't give him another chance. Bro, this guy didn't care about none of us. None of us. When he tried to pull that knife out.
He didn't care about his own self. Because again, he's out on bond right now. He's presently fighting a case.
What if it would have been a gun? And this is what we have with the Pookies and Ray Rays. He's just a damn Pookie. Smoking weed, doing drugs, ready to risk it all and take everybody down with him because he's too insecure to take a joke. After dishing out a bunch of jokes. At T, thank you for the $1.99. Your lack of fear broke him. 100%. A coward dies 1,000 deaths.
Ooh.
A coward dies 1,000 deaths. And that's what Suspect is learning. What's our quotes for today? Those who won't hear must be made to feel. Everybody's been warning them. People have probably been telling Suspect this since he was a young boy. I'm gonna be real with you. People have probably been telling Sus this shit since he was a young boy. Wait, show which message? Which message do y'all want to see? People have probably been telling Sus this shit since he was a young boy. And he never was made to feel. You know, your grandma, that's a Greek proverb. Those who won't hear must be made to feel. But your granny had another proverb that was similar. A hard head make a soft ass. That's the black version of that proverb.
Facts.
A hard head make a soft ass. Now you at home, laid up, nigga, the weed man probably getting blown up this morning because bro didn't, he didn't blew his bag. You don't never let a nigga trick you up out of your bag. First rule of the streets. That's how you know that you are not a man. And you're definitely not a street dude. They're in the street. Aunt Hefe is a big time drug dealer. Aunt Hefe in there laughing at that shit. This is comical, bro. Ain't nobody here trying to kill nobody. What's the point of taking it to that extent? Nigga, we could have went to Roof Chris or something after. I'm a way better friend than an enemy. Anybody in here who fuck with me for real, I'm a way better friend than an enemy. My homie Truth 884, somebody I met on YouTube, came to Cali with his family. We took him to sushi with his family. We ordering big sushi at damn near one of the most expensive sushi places in the city. On me, cause that's the homie just through YouTube, bro. Be blessing the nigga with super chats. I dropped the couple hundred on the sushi. I'm a way better friend than the enemy. Because I lead with respect. I gave everybody respect. This shit all came because he said N-word with a hard ER, and I simply asked him, did you say a hard ER? Not even trying to go at him. Before cameras were ever even rolling. And he turned that into me trying to be all over him because he said the hard ER. Turney Tight, my boy. Bro, dead ass look like Antoine Dotson, for real though.
Yeah, that's cold. That's cold. This whole situation is cold, man. But let me show y'all something, man. Definitely tap in with my brother Brandon's channel, Define with Brandon Tucker for sure.